Hi, this is Paul. Based on the events of SmackDown last night, where we found out the person that Randy Orton has been talking to has been Pat McAfee, and Pat McAfee comes out, kicks Cody's while Randy and Cody are fighting, and kicks Cody in the unmentionable area. Okay, and then he goes on a rant about how the WWE is not what it used to be, and not like the Attitude Era and all this other crap. And he said he's been the one telling Randy that he's got to find that edge and all the other stuff. A bunch of BS, but it's just a bunch of BS. And JD and why he went off. He went on a rant to end all rants. Him, Solomonster, and C Jax. That's, I guess he's always ranting and stuff about the WWE product. But I have a way, I think, to salvage the night one main event, which is Cody versus Randy. Okay, because right now, as it is, Randy is the face, and it's not supposed to be that way. Randy's supposed to be the heel, but people are cheering for Randy. So he's technically the face in this, and Cody's the heel because people are tired of Cody. They think he's the same old, and stuff. So people are getting tired of Cody. Okay, now, because it usually happens with Cody getting beat up, okay, and then Cody coming back strong like that, like a superhero and all that stuff, and triumphs over evil and all that stuff. But I got a better way to do this. I got two ways, actually. And JD from NY, New York, he gave me one other read, but I had a different way. Okay, in case now, this all depends if Royce Keys is healthy. Like I said, he hasn't been on TV. I don't think since the Royal Rumble. I don't remember him being on TV since the Royal Rumble. So I don't know if he's hurt or they're holding him back for something. Okay, and this depends on if he's not hurt. Okay, and they're just holding him back to bring him back after WrestleMania is over. Maybe that's what I'm hoping. That's the reason. Okay, so if that's the case, this is how we're going to play it. Okay, we're going to have Cody come out next week. Okay, and saying that Randy, after what happened with him and Pat McAfee and all that stuff, he said I went to the powers that be and told them I want our match to be no disqualification. Okay, because if I can't go to that place like Stephanie McMahon wants me to, then I don't deserve to be in it. I deserve whatever Randy does to me. If I can't overcome that and find that inner me, the badass, if I can't find it, then whatever Randy does to me, I'll deserve it. Okay, and Randy's licking his lips, smiling and stuff. Happy. Him and Pat McAfee are laughing. I think that's okay. So now the match comes. Right, Cody comes out dressed like Homelander as usual, but this time he has black hair. Okay, like he used to have. Okay, his original hair color back. Okay, and he comes out and he's very aggressive in this match. In the beginning of the match, he's very aggressive. Since this is no disqualification, he's throwing Randy from pillar to post and stuff, and stomping on him and stuff, and doing it. Just being really aggressive. And then he gets to a point where he grabs a steel chair like he's going to blast Randy, and then he thinks he stops himself. He pauses momentarily like he can't do it, and then he throws the chair away. But he can't do it, which of course gives Randy the perfect opportunity to turn the tables, and Randy starts beating Cody down and stuff, throwing him from pillar to post and stuff. Okay, and it looks like Randy is going to that place. He's setting up for the RKO. When you see Stephanie comes out with Royce Keys, okay, and their mics so you can hear what they're saying, and Cody is dragging himself up on the ropes and stuff, and she tells him, go to the ring and finish him off. Okay. You tell Royce Keys, go to the ring and finish him off. Okay. And you see Stephanie smiling, right? And you see Royce Keys runs down there. He slides into the ring and he gestures to Randy, I got this. And he grabs Cody like he's gonna powerbomb him, right? He's smiling, and Stephanie is smiling. She comes out and she's clapping her hands and smiling. And Randy is smiling too because he thinks Royce Keys is gonna powerbomb Cody. But instead, Royce Keys picks Cody up, then he turns around and clotheslines Randy Orton, okay, and picks him up and power slams him, okay, and then Cody gets the steel chair, comes out and hit the crossroads on Randy on the steel chair, okay, and pins him 1, 2, 3, okay, but Cody's not finished, okay, to complete this heel turn, Cody's not finished. Cody grabs the steel chair, and Royce Keys picks up Randy and throws him towards Cody, and Cody, wham, and he makes him bleed. He hits him with the chair, and he's bleeding, and Randy's bleeding. Randy's bleeding, and Cody's just starts laughing. Okay, and the meanwhile, Royce Keys runs out of the ring, grabs Pat McAfee from behind the announcer's table, and pulls him up. Pulls him up and has him like basically in a bear hug, where he can't go nowhere. Okay, and Cody takes some of the blood off Randy and smears it on his chest, and Randy's trying to get to his feet. Okay, staggering, and then Cody punts Randy right in the head. Okay, and he's just laughing, and Cody's like sitting by Randy, who's laying prone, bleeding, and Cody's sitting next to him. And it's like laughing, like Brock Lesnar was laughing before when he was beating up John Cena. That type of laughing. Cody's just sitting there laughing, with Randy blood on his chest, just laughing, and Randy's laid out, bleeding, and then and then Royce Keys throws Pat McAfee into the ring. Cody hits the crossroads on him, and then punts him in the head too. And he punts him, and then Royce Keys gets in the ring, and Stephanie comes down too as well. And they both raise his hands in the air, and Cody's laughing, looking at Randy with the blood on his chest, and he's just laughing like a maniac with the belt over his chest, just looking at Randy, just laughing like a maniac. Like and that way you have Cody completely turn heel, right? Align himself with Stephanie, right? Okay, and Royce Keys has a role. He's like Cody's bodyguard and stuff. So that's how you get him on the main roster. Okay, you get him on SmackDown with Cody. So Cody, has a bodyguard, a protector. So nobody kicking Cody in the private area anymore, because Cody got protection. He got his boy from AEW, Royce Keys, watching his back. Okay, and you can have him say all that stuff when he comes out on the SmackDown after WrestleMania. Or you can do it the way JD from New York, NY from New York said, 06 said that you could have Ethan Page, Royce Keys, and Ricky Saints, form a faction with Randy Orton. But no, not with Randy Orton. They're going to form it with Cody, okay, when Cody turns heel. Because they're all former AEW stars, right? So it makes better sense that way. What you can do, again, you can have it done this way. Like I said, he can come out the same way, aggressive, the dark hair. He's beating up Randy, and then he picks up the chair like he's going to hit him, and then he can't do it. Throws away the chair, and Randy turns the tables on him, and Randy's, beating Cody, beating him down and stuff, and it looks like he's going to give Cody the RKO. And you see Stephanie comes out with Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, and Royce Keys, and she tells him, go down to the ring and finish Cody off, finish Cody off for Randy. And they come down the ring, and they go, okay, they smile, and they head down to the ring. Okay, and Stephanie's coming down the ring, coming down the aisle, clapping, and Randy's smiling and stuff, like that their plan is working, their plan is going to work, and they get into the ring like they're going to attack Cody. They pick Cody up, like they're going to attack him. They pick him up, and then they turn on Randy, and they start stomping Randy down, beating Randy Orton down, just beating him down left and right. Just bam, bam, bam. They even grab Pat McAfee from behind Royce Keys grab him from behind and they beat him down. And Cody grabs a steel chair, bam, blood. Randy's bleeding. Okay, and Cody puts his blood on his chest and starts laughing. Then he punts Randy. Okay, and then Pat McAfee gets thrown into the ring. He gets crossroad and he gets punched in the head too. And then you see Stephanie with this horrified look on her face, like they turned on her, and you can hear Cody pick up the mic and say, "You don't really think they were going to turn on me, right? These are my boys, right? You really think they were going to turn on me? These are my boys." And everybody's laughing and slapping Cody on the back, and Cody even says, "Maybe we should punt you in the head too." And you can even have her, Stephanie starts backing away and starts running back there. When you see Brandy comes out, okay, you can have Brandy come out and smack the living crap out of Stephanie, okay. And like I said, you can have that way. You can have Cody be, although people, like I said, people may think, he overcame the heel, but technically Cody would be a heel, because Cody's gonna punt Randy in the head, make him bleed, okay. And people are gonna naturally, you think people are gonna boo that, right? Because Cody, his character is dark now, and he has his boys with him now. He has a new faction. He said, "This is my new legacy, okay? And we're gonna be running SmackDown, right?" There you go. So I think it could go either way. That way, because I don't know what Ethan Page and and Ricky Saints are doing currently in NXT. So if they're not doing anything, then I think you probably can bring them up to the main roster, and then that way you can have another faction on SmackDown. And Royce Keys, hopefully, if he's not hurt, like I said, then that way you get him on TV and stuff, and he's part of a faction with Cody, and basically, like I said, basically it's the AEW boys against the WWE boys, so technically like that. And I think that would be a good swerve actually, because everybody would think, oh, okay, they're coming down to beat Cody down, but actually they turn on, and that's what Stephanie told them, but they actually turn on Stephanie, okay, Stephanie and Randy, and beat him down and bloody up Pat McAfee, okay, too, and it's perfect. And like I said, Stephanie can have that horrified look on her face, and you can even have Brandy come down if you want to. If I don't know if she's even interested in getting back under the ring and like smacks the crap. Stephanie runs into her when she's running up the aisle, and Brandy smacks the crap out of Stephanie, and then she gets into the ring with her husband and stuff, and they step on Randy, and they got their foot on Randy's, and he's bleeding, and him and Pat McAfee are laid out in the ring, and Cody's just laughing like a maniac. Just have him laughing like a maniac. Have that laugh, that same laugh, crazy laugh that Homelander has. Okay, and I think that would be great. I think that would be an easy way, like I said, to turn Cody heel. Okay, and you can have, you could either have that new faction with Cody and the AEW guys, or former AEW guys, or you could have just Royce Keys be his bodyguard, Cody, like I said, Cody snaps, Blaze Randy, okay, punts him in the head, punch Pat McAfee in the head, okay, and then later you could, if you want to, if Kevin, depending on how Kevin Owens is and how far he is from coming back, you can have Randy fight back with Kevin Owens and maybe even Sammy. They can have their faction go up against Cody's faction like that. Okay, so if you want to drag it out that way, although I think Cody should be, after he punts Randy or something, Randy could be out for a while. Okay, and then you can have him fight. You can have Cody fight for 2, right? You can fight for 2 or somebody else. You can fight. You can find opponents for Cody to fight in the meantime, while you have Randy be out to sell the injury and stuff. So getting punted in the head and all that stuff. Okay, so I think that's the way to do it. Okay, to salvage this horrible WrestleMania season, because they really screwed up, because Randy and Cody have history, and they could have relied on that history rather than this stupid contrived thing with Pat McAfee. I think that's to ruin this whole thing involving Pat McAfee in it. But I think that's the way to go. You either have Royce Keys be Cody's bodyguard. He comes out, he bloodies Randy up, punts him in the head, punch Pat McAfee in the head, and he got Royce Keys as his new bodyguard. And he's basically aligned himself with Stephanie McMahon, because she raises his hand in the ring with Royce Keys, and he's just laughing like a maniac because he has Randy's blood on his chest, and this is a different Cody, a psychotic Cody. Randy pushed him to the edge, and he's crazy, and he's running with it. Okay, or like I say, you can have the new faction. You can have those, like I say, Ethan Page, Ricky Saints, and Royce Keys comes down, and Stephanie tells them to finish off Cody. They go down to the ring, and they don't do it. They actually turn, and they pick Cody up, and then they all attack Randy Orton. He starts beating him down, and then then Cody hits the crossroads on a steel chair on Randy and pins him, but he's not finished. He hits Randy with a chair, makes him bleed. Randy's bleeding, trying to get up, and Cody punts him in the head, and then they punt Pat McAfee in the head too. And Cody puts Randy's blood on his chest, and he's laughing like a maniac, and he's looking at Stephanie. Okay, you really thought my boys were going to turn against me? These are my boys, okay? Okay? And they're all laughing at Stephanie, yelling at Stephanie, and she's, running to the back, scared. And you can have, like I say, you can have Brandy come down the aisle, and she bumps into Brandy, and Brandy just smacks the crap out of Stephanie. Okay, and there you go. And either way, say Cody's heel, okay? And then you got to get a different version of Cody. A version of Cody that's heel. Okay, so there you go. Anyway, let me know what you think of those 2 options for WrestleMania, to save that main event for the first night. Hopefully that they'll do something like that. I think that would be good. Okay, so that way you don't have to worry about, you have Cody doing that with the new faction, or either with Royce Keys as his bodyguard. Okay, either one, I think you can go with that way. That way Cody's heel, he's selling it. He has a bodyguard to protect him. Okay, no more body kicking him in the nuts. Like I said, you're gonna have him say that too when he comes out on Thursday on that SmackDown. He said there'll be no more kicking me in the nuts, no more beating me up. My boy right here, Royce Keys, he's the enforcer. He's my enforcer. He's gonna make sure anybody tries to put their hands on me, he's gonna put them down. Okay, that goes for you. That goes for The Rock. That goes for Roman. That goes for Randy. Just naming all of. That goes for all of you. Anybody tries to put their hands on me, my boy Royce is going to put them in check. Okay, exactly. Okay, so you tell the audience, learn to love me. Okay, love me. I'm the best. Love me. Okay, just have them be really arrogant. I think that'll work. Okay, so anyway, let me know what you think. Feel free to leave comments down below. In the description box are links to my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram. Also, a link to my main channel in the description box as well. Also, I have a link down below to my merchandise store. As you can see, I'm wearing my Trepacer logo shirt. That's one design I have. I also have the spherical circles. That's the other design I have on my merchandise. I have it on t-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, hoodies, water bottles, teddy bears, for men, women, unisex. Follow the link. It'll take you to my merchandise store. Also, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps the channel, and I truly appreciate it. Also, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so you know when I upload new content to this channel. And this is Paul saying so long, and take care.